This is Tank's Vlog, March 15th, 2019, and we are heading down to the nitty-gritty, the final weekend of Championship Week. And what we have now is the top teams are getting together, making their final pitches to be the top spots in the NCAA tournament. Zion Williamson's healthy. Duke looks strong as they edged North Carolina 74-73 in a classic battle between the two heated rivals. Of course, Zion Williamson missed both regular season games against the Tar Heels. Of course, he got injured very early in the first game and did not play at all in the second game as Carolina swept the regular season meetings with the Blue Devils. But this game was different. Zion Williamson had 31 points, 11 rebounds, as Duke won a 1-point back and forth battle, tied at the half, game tight all game long. And now Duke will go on to face Florida State, who upset Virginia 69-59. Now, you know, if going into this ACC tournament, the number 2, 3, and 5 teams were all in the ACC. So it's very likely that ACC still gets 2 teams in the top 4 spots. Virginia, I don't think Virginia is going to get it. Virginia does not deserve to be a number 1 seed after being the first number 1 seed to lose last year. So bye-bye, Cavaliers. I mean, it will be ridiculous. Kentucky right now, they're definitely looking like a number 1 seed after beating Alabama in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament 73-55. Now, Gonzaga losing to St. Mary's in the Western Conference Championship could drop them out of the number 1 seed, even though they've been the number 1 team all year. So that will be remain to be seen. But right now, I think we're looking at the top 4 seeds being Duke, if they win against the Florida State, North Carolina, Kentucky, and Gonzaga, with the outside chance that Michigan State out of the Big Ten could get there, as they're ranked 6th and beat Ohio State 77-70. In other games, we saw Florida, who did not have a good year, needs to win the SEC tournament to get in the Big Dance, upsetting LSU. Michigan thumped Iowa. Houston clobbered UConn. So we're getting to see all these tournaments come together. Another big upset. The Paper Tiger, that is Nevada, they lost. Kansas State was upset by Iowa State. So it looks like another year, another championship in the Big 12 by Kansas. It's just ridiculous how they win that conference every single year. And of course, in the Big East, Villanova looking for another championship in the Big East Conference, looking for the 3rd championship in a row, are going into the finals for the 5th straight season after beating Xavier 71-67, and they'll be facing Seton Hall. Now, Seton Hall survived a game against Marquette 81-79, a controversial game. There was squabbles, fights, and probably the worst officiating I've ever seen in a college basketball game. I mean, these officials look like they went to the Angel Hernandez, look at me, I'm the referee, school of officiating. Horrific job. There was mass confusion. Players ejected, didn't know who was going to be ejected at the end of the game. You got players, Miles Powell's looked like he was about ready to start fighting with the coach of Marquette. Just an absolute terrible, dreadful, horrific job by these officials. These officials are the reason this game was such a disaster. I mean, this game took forever to be played. The referees inconsistent, and they started calling whistles on every little thing. I mean, the guy jumps up and down the field at a foul call, and you call a technical on him. What the hell is that? How about getting out of the way of the goddamn game? Ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. It took 3 hours to play this game because of how dreadfully awful these officials were. So, Big East Championship, Madison Square Garden. Be nice to see Seton Hall get the win. Going to the league where they pay for play. The Knicks continue to reel up the losses. Reel in the losses. Oh, yeah. 109-83 losers to the Spurs. Knicks now 13 wins, 56 losses. Lakers were hammered by the Pistons, 111-97. Detroit's now 2 games above 500. LeBron sat out. When the going gets tough, LeBron leaves. It was the Kings 123-114 winners over the King. Excuse me. Let me back that up. It was the 76ers 123-114 winners over the Kings. Joel Embiid, on the eve of his birthday, had 21 points, 17 rebounds. It was the Hornets 116-110 winners over the Wizards. Nice game for Bradley Beal in a losing effort with 40 points. The Bucks, down by 20, came back, stormed back, and won by 15, beating the Heat 113-98. Giannis Antetokounmpo nearly a triple-double, 33 points, 16 boards, 9 assists. It was the Rockets behind 41 points, shooting down the Suns 108-102. The Trailblazers never trailed. Well, they might have trailed early in the game, but didn't trail at the end as they beat the Pelicans 122-110. Julius Randle had 45 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists in a losing effort for New Orleans. It was the Clippers 128-121 winners over the Bulls. Clippers moving closer and closer to locking up a playoff spot. Clippers in, Lakers out. Ding! Friday night on ice, Devils completing their Western Canadian portion of their road trip with a 2-1 record, and down 2-0 at one point. The Devils scored 2 goals late to force overtime and beat the Canucks 3-2. Very good game for Mackenzie Blackwood in goal. And the Devils are showing some resiliency, getting a couple of players back here and there, but otherwise it's been a lost season, and just shows you how much better the East is this year than the West. The Canucks are actually playoff challengers, and the Devils are long since buried. The Flames scorched the Rangers. Flames are getting heating up as of late. After a couple of days, Matthew Tkachuk, who had a big week this week, a big hat trick early in the week. This week almost repeated Johnny Gaudreau's 6-point night as he had 5 points, accounting for all the Flame scores. 2 goals, 3 assists. Sergei Bobrovsky had a 46 save effort as the Blue Jackets blanked the Hurricanes 3-0. In a wild game, it was the Maple Leafs edging the Flyers 7-6. It was Vegas Golden Knights 2-1 winners over the Stars. The Ducks squeaked past the Avalanche 5-3. And the NFL moves continue. Today, the Miami Dolphins decided to take the trash to the curb. Bye-bye, Ryan Trashy Hill. You sucked! Today's 3 stars are Sergei Bobrovsky with 46 saves in a shutout against the Hurricanes. Matthew Tkachuk, second time on the list this week, 2 goals, 3 assists. And James Harden with 41 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists, and the Rockets win over the Suns. Today's birthday shout-out goes to a guy who was just recently retired from being a longtime general manager, Ozzie Newsome. Now, Ozzie Newsome's an interesting person. He could be considered a Hall of Fame executive, but he was a Hall of Fame player. And they've never done that before. Never done put someone in the Hall of Fame twice, so I doubt they'll ever recognize his general managing skills. But he's done a masterful job all these years keeping the Ravens in contention. And we take a look back to 1996 when Le Canadien left the Montreal Forum and began playing at the Molson Center. Now, of course, Molson Center is now known as the Bell Center. But it was interesting to see when the Canadien left the Forum after 70 years. So look back at the ceremonies of the farewell ceremony at the Forum was always something to behold. The way they passed the torch down and the big ovation that Rocket Richard got. So check that out at Barstool Sports and its Sports Encyclopedia, where sports history lives. Good day.